Hey, it's Vander125 here with what I think is going to be close or the staple spell and trap lineup for September 2010 ban list. So let's just get started. First off, something archetype based. I just recorded my GB video, so I just have this here. At least one or two things archetype based, maybe a third if you want to. But yeah, that should probably be essential to your deck. My body, I think like I said in my GB video, that this is essential in every deck because of all the not MST, Dark Hole's going to be running rampant everywhere. Just be prepared and use this. At least one MST, if not two. You should run two, but you have to at least have one like last time. Monster Reborn, why wouldn't you run Monster Reborn? It just revives things, and Saki and Synchro and stuff. Dark Hole, it's just a great card, just destroys everything. Can easy get a lot of pluses off this. At least one, should two, maybe a third Book of Moon. Just great card. Let's see. At least another thing archetype based in your trap lineup. Probably a second one would be good. Third one be good as well. One Call, just a supplement to that Monster Reborn. Great thing to have. Dimensional Prison, because of all the Starlight Road running rampant, you need another thing other than Mirror Force just to get your opponent's monster off the field. Torrential Tribute, even though Starlight Road is going to be running rampant, you can make them waste their Starlight Road on something like this if you have easy setup to kill a Stardust. Solemn Judgment, even better now that Heavy's gone. Don't waste your Solemn on a 4,000 burn just to protect your back row first turn from Heavy. Don't have to do that anymore. Mirror Force, even though Starlight Road is here, if it's not a major attack, activate it, make them waste their Starlight Road, or they lose two monsters. They have to choose. Two or more monsters. You should be running two bottomless. You should be running two bottomless. There isn't a way you shouldn't be running two bottomless. Run two bottomless. And Starlight Road, of course, just negates a lot of stuff this format. And yeah, just great card overall. Next up, I'm going to be talking about the decks of this format. I have 6 decks I want to talk about. First one is, I like to call it Quick Drill Plants. It's great this format. Now that Black Rose is at 3, I'm going to have a hard time obtaining 2 more Black Roses. But, yeah, they're just going to be spamming their Black Roses, spamming their Drill Warriors maybe at the same time. Even that's pretty dangerous. And, yeah. X-Sabers, just because they lost Cat doesn't mean they're out. They're still a very good playable deck without that small search. That one free synchro. X-Sabers can consistently pull out free synchros. Like, if they got a Boggart Knight and Tuner in hand, they've got a free synchro. Just because they don't have a one-card combination for one free synchro in one turn doesn't mean that they're dead. And now, Infernities, just because they lost 2 launchers doesn't mean they're not playable. They might not be OTK anymore, but they are still a very good and very playable deck with a very fast synchro engine. I don't like how people say they're dead. They're still very good and very alive. GBs, they're a great deck. Some people don't like them. They say they suck, but they're really good if you have the right deck build and the right player. And, yeah, I don't just say that because I'm a GB player. I like the GB archetype for its toolbox effect. I like having access to my whole deck. I think it's a nice thing to have. So why would accessing your whole deck at the same time and just attacking be a bad deck? Blackwings, they lost an Oppression and a Whirlwind. Although we did lose Heavy, so that kind of balances out. So it could go either way depending on the deck build, I think. And finally, what I think is going to make the biggest comeback is Lightsworn. It's a great deck, always been last format, but since everything's been evened out, most things got stuff taken away from them, this thing has more of a chance to come back. Got a Royal Decree back, so those control Lightsworn variants with 3 Raikos and 3 Royal Decrees, no other traps, and just control your opponent until you get JD. Those things, I think, that deck's going to be a really good deck, I think, this format. Now, to scale them, I'd say as long as you have the correct player and the correct deck build, this deck is by far the best. But you're probably not going to have the best deck build and the best player, but it's still really good and probably on top if you have the correct player. X-Saber and Infernity are probably about the same. I think X-Saber is a little bit higher because everybody's mad at losing their launcher, and it's going to take them a little bit to figure out a strategy that doesn't involve OTK. So I think right now, X-Sabers are a little bit higher because we know their strategy, but it just might shift up to Infernities later. We'll see. It's competing for second spot or first if you want to count the Drill Warrior or here as first, your opinion. And then these three, the top tier decks of September 2009, are going to be competing for the next place, I think. I think it's going to be GBs, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not being biased. I think it's a really good deck, this format, and shows a lot of potential. And then Blackwings didn't really get help in the ban list, and then I think that. So, it's better to... Blackwing, I think, is the worst of these six right now. I could be wrong, but it's better than zombies and all that other stuff. I think it's better than frogs, monarchs, and etc. I just wanted to do these six decks. But yeah, that's what I think of how this format's going to look. And as for the ban list, I'm disappointed to see Cat go, but it's not essential to me because I never had a deck that really... Well, this deck and my Saber deck that I'm working on never really relied on the Cat. I'm sad to see Heavy go, yeah, but it was kind of just killing people if they had Solemn down. And Substitute, I had never had a chance to play Frogs except for once, and they never got a Substitute out on me, so I don't know how dangerous they can be. But I think that was just like at the World Tournament, they just like, oh, that card is... Konami just saw how Frogs won, and they're like, that card is way too good, we're banning it. They didn't even think about limiting it, they just banned it right off the bat. Yeah, and what else was it? Brain Control. Brain Control was a surprise to everyone. Nobody thought they would do it, but they actually did it. I don't really care to see it go because GBs don't utilize that, but I do have other decks that I did run it, and I never really liked Brain Control for some reason. It always sat in my hand a lot. And limited off the ban list. Wow, Monster Reborn and Dark Hole. That is crazy stuff right there. It's going to be a crazy format for everyone. Balanced and with these two cards, it's just going to be crazy. Black Whirlwind and Royal Oppression. Now, I think Blackwood could take the hit, but we'll know when Blackwing's gone. They're just gonna like kill him, like put Shura at 1, put Bor at 2, put Sirocco down, put Vayu at 1. Even though I do run 1 Vayu anyway. But yeah, you'll know when they try to kill off Blackwings. Blackwings still is a good deck and still very alive. I might be missing something because I don't have a list with me. This is off of memory. I don't remember the semi-limits that well. But MST, crazy stuff. That's just a replacement for Heavy, I'm sure. And off the ban list, there's some crazy stuff too. Cyber Dragon 1, 2, it was 1, then 2, then 3 again. That's pretty crazy. Black Rose, I don't think that was a good idea at all. But still, gotta do it. They gotta do it. I don't remember the other ones, but so if I don't remember them, they're probably insignificant and don't matter to me at all or the game. But I'm sure they do, and I'm wrong, and I probably look like a total idiot right now. But this is what I think of what the format's going to look like. Tell me what you think. Rate, subscribe, comment, whatever.